Welcome to Yarok the Desecrated. Oh, playing against Vraska, so this should be a nice little Soul Time versus Go Gary match. And as far as our opening hand goes, yeah, we're gonna keep on this one. Yeah, that's a double Ancient Tomb Lands, basically. Yeah, we're gonna keep on this one and probably lead off with Golgari Guildgate. That way, everything else is gonna come into play untapped. So I do like that. But yes, we're playing Yarok the Desecrated. I think our opponent. No, we're on the play first. That makes it even better. So it's going to lead off with Golgari Guildgate and then pass the turn. So we're playing Yarok the Desecrated, Death Touch, and Lifelink. If a permanent entering the battlefield causes a triggered ability of a permanent you control to trigger, that ability triggers an additional time. We draw into Once Upon a Time. So very nice. So I think what we'll do on this is probably just go Watery Grave, have that come into play tap. That way we're not having to pay any life, and then we can go for Once Upon a Time. We'll see what we rip into next turn before we go for Once Upon a Time, but definitely going to be going for Gift of Paradise or New Horizons the following turn. So we'll probably stick that on the basic 4. So that's going to be Leafkin Druid, okay? Going to see that come down. That's going to be a 0-3, and then kick it back over to our turn. So we run into Paradise Druid. Let's have the Forest come down. Let's go for Once Upon a Time. Definitely want to cast it for free. Don't want to do it the other way around. And I think at this point, we'll just go and grab another basic. That'll be good, because that way we're not having to dig for something like that. Let's go New Horizons. Actually, the better line of play would be Gift of Paradise. Yep. Because that way, if we get down at Mana Dork, we can at least recast them. So there we go. We're going to gain 3 life, put us up to 28. And then, now, one thing that we do have to watch out with Vraska is they want to target our gifts and stuff like that. Yeah, that would be a pretty good target. I'd probably target it because that's pretty crucial. So we'll see how our opponent decides to play this one out. But if they just keep going for the +1, yeah, they're just going to cash in some card draw. That's fine with us because we'll take all the card advantage that we can go for. So let's have the land come down for the turn. That's going to be Island. So that's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3. That's going to be 1, 2, 3. So at this point, we can go for Yarok the Desecrated. And I think we might want to do that because that'll be an extra counters that I think we can go for with if a permanent, yeah. So let's do that. Let's just go for a little counterspell test. Let's have Yarok the Desecrated come down. I'm fine with this. If they've got some sort of spot removal, they've got it. Oh, look at creepy Yarok over there. Looking like a Half-Life character. But yeah, so now that we've got Yarok down, we can actually go for Paradise Druid, and once we go for New Horizons on that basic island, that should be 2 +1 counters. All right, so they do have bacon to a pie, so we're going to send that back to the command zone. It was worth a shot. That's one of those, Yarok is one of those commanders that if you get it down and it's not answered right then and there, it's a pretty good threat, so that's pretty good. And then, now we do need to get something going with... Vraska over there, something pretty quick. So and we still have Dream Eater that we can potentially go for, and we can just bounce that back to their hand. So I kind of like that. So let's just do some setting up. So that's going to be a New Horizons on Island, and that's going to be 1, 2, and then we'll tap down Watery Grave. There we go. All right, so New Horizons. Let's go for Paradise. Oh, let's sequence that one just a little bit differently. Sorry about that. And we'll get the land drop down for the turn. That's going to be Temple of Malady. And then Command Tower. Yeah, this deck is pretty mana hungry. So yeah, sorry about that. That was just definitely a sequencing error. When you're delivering commentary / trying to make sure you sequence certain things right / deal with Vraska's getting close to an ultimate, there's just only so much that your brain can process, and it has to prioritize. At least my brain prioritizes what matters, and that's making sure that Vraska doesn't stick around. So even if they go for the +1, we still got Dream Eater that we can flash in. That's going to be a good surveil option for us, and that's just going to hit the reset button on Vraska. And plus, with the surveil, we can always just trade with Spawn of Mayhem, which is a pretty good deal. So now, one thing that we can't, yeah, we need to get rid of that. So let's have old Command Tower come down. And I think the better option is just to go ahead and get this one out of the way. We'll go and have this come down. Yeah, there we go. So we're going to go ahead and surveil for 4. Chittering Witch, get some rat tokens. Target, yeah, I kind of actually like Chittering Witch. So let's go. Thornwood Falls into the graveyard. Forest into the graveyard. I think Swamp into the graveyard. Yeah, I kind of like that Chittering Witch. So that'll be a good thing for us to kind of hopefully try to control our opponent's board state by minusing some of those creatures. And then let's go and bounce Vraska back to the hand. So we definitely want to take action on that. We're going to send it back. We've got 3 mana left over. So I think at this point, we're just simply just going to go and pass the turn. Now, I do want to try to get down Yarok very badly. We go for Yarok. We should have the mana that's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And that's going to be 8 total mana. So that would be us completely tapping out for Yarok next turn. Because if we go for Gadwick and we cash in some card draw, that's, get to cash in 8 card draw. That's going to be pretty good. So opponent's going to go for Ugin. That's going to be colorless spells, exile top card. And they do end up popping our Surveil, which is, it's okay. Not the end of the world. So let's do this. So we can just actually get rid of Ugin if we go for Dungeon Geist. Okay. We're going to be a little... So the safer line of play would be Dungeon Geist, tap down Spawn of Mayhem, Paradise Druid into Ugin. Yeah, I think we need to do that. Because that gets rid of Ugin. We don't really have to worry about that anymore. As much as I would like to get double taps, yeah, let's do that. So we're going to go Dungeon Geist. We're going to tap down Spawn of Mayhem, because this does 2 things. It makes them have some sort of spot removal for Dungeon Geist, and there we go, swinging at Ugin, and that'll dodge. This is definitely a better line of play to go for. And then we'll still, I think, hold on to Chittering Witch if we want to, because it's going to be just 1 rat token. But I think that's okay, because that'll be 2. Yeah, let's just wait on Chittering Witch. But that'll give us more bodies if they get more Planeswalkers down, which I kind of do like. Yeah, let's go for that, because our big payoff card is going to be Yarok with Gadwick. So let's get old rat token down. That's going to be 1 damage to us, but we're 1 life total ahead, so that's what matters. But yeah, if we end up going for Yarok and we pass the turn, I like the way that played out last turn, because it is nice to get double Dungeon Geist, but that really puts our opponent in a weird position this turn. We dealt with Ugin. We don't have to worry about any more creatures flooding the board so they can protect Vraska. And at this point, if they want to get Vraska down, that's pretty much going to be the rest of their turn. So that's going to be Transformation. And I think... technically, we control Dungeon Geist still with Kenra's Transformation. Loses all abilities. So I think it's still technically Dungeon Geist tapped down. I think that's correct. I may be wrong on that, but if either way, we're looking at Yarok potentially, and then with Gadwick, that's going to allow us to cash in some card draws. We could just straight up just cast Gadwick, but if we can get double Gadwick, that'll really help us kind of seal the deal. But if I'm correct, I think we should be able to keep that creature tapped down. So let's go for old Yarok. Have Yarok enter the battlefield. And then Breeding Pool, we're just going to pay to have this enter the battlefield tap since we have nothing else. So, and then do we want to swing it? I guess we can swing it with Dungeon Geist. Yeah, that'd be good. Yeah, so we swing it with Dungeon Geist because we're just looking at a 0/3. I mean, that could be a pump spell. They've got 2 mana, which I don't think we want to worry about. So we swing it with Chittering Witch, and then we swing in with Rat Token. And then we swing it with Paradise Druid. Yeah, I kind of like this attack because either way, Leafkin Druid is not going to be able to do much. We're going to be able to get in a pretty good chunk of damage. So there we go. Really nice hit on their life total. Okay, yes, I was right. So since it is, so the way this is, if you're new to Magic and you're like, well, they should be able to untap Spawn of Mayhem. As long as we control Dungeon Geist, this is going to stay tapped down. So this is still Dungeon Geist, even though Dungeon Geist is no longer Ghost. It's a 3/3 Elk, which makes Oko very happy. But yeah, that's why we still keep that creature tapped down. So now if they do end up popping... Okay, yeah, they're going to pop Yarok. So at this point, Yarok does draw a lot of hate, so we're just going to end up going for Gadwick. So we got our opponent to spend a lot of their resources. So even with us still end up going, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, being able to draw 6 cards is a very, very nice feeling. And we can actually retry on Yarok if we want to. It's going to be a 7/6. Do we want to give it one more go? Yeah, let's give it a shot. I kind of like that. All right, we're going to go for it. All right. If something happens again to Yarok, we're definitely going to no attacks. And then at this point, we can still take another hit off of... Feasting Troll King. That'll put us down to 17. Yeah, I know this is, we're still just rolling out Yarok again, but we'll definitely have to go for Gadwig. All right, Poto's going to scoop it up on this one. Yeah, they're just not hitting anything. We've got the better board state. Even though it doesn't look like we're going to win right then and there, with them scooping up, that means one thing, that they didn't have anything in their hand. They're probably just looking at a couple lands, or if they get Vraska down, we're going to be able to deal with those creatures. Even then, if they have another piece of removal, they probably would have used it on your rock. So we're looking at Gadwig coming down next turn, which is going to allow us to draw 12 cards, or maybe even a few more than that. And then once we rip into that, the game is pretty much ours. So even though opponent preemptively scooped, still going to toss this one into the win column because we got further on the board state. And that's kind of what 1v1 Brawl and Commander's about sometimes. You know, there's just sometimes where your opponent's going to scoop because their board state's going nowhere really quick, and that's going to count as a win. So I will see you in the next game. All right, bye. Welcome to Yarok the Desecrated, playing against Etrata? I think that's how you say it. As far as the opening hand goes, yeah, I love this. This is beautiful. We got some wonderful options. We got Season of Growth very early on, which will really help us out with some fun enter the battlefield effects. We got Gift of Paradise to help turn one of our lands into an ancient tomb. We've got Risen Reef, which is just a great value play with Yarok. And we'll see what sort of build against Etrata we're playing against. I don't know. This is always kind of an interesting commander to play against. So I'm just going to lead off with Dimir Guildgate. That way it's going to enter the battlefield tab. Then we can go for Command Tower. And then go for a Season of Growth. Hopefully run into one more land that enters the battlefield untapped. So this could be Fabled Passage. Yeah, we'll still go for it. So that's going to be Command Tower. Let's go Season of Growth. And then pass the turn. So next turn we do have Risen Reef. If we hit another land, but I'm thinking we might want to save Risen Reef for once we get down to Yarok. That's going to be pretty important. So I think we've got some time with the Trotta, so that's what we're going to try to do. So let's kind of move these over here. Oh, there we go, Forest. So let's have Forest come down. Gift of Paradise on Forest. That allows us to gain a little bit of life. They might have a counterspell like Negate or something like that. If they do, so be it. All right, there we go. Quench. Not going to be able to pay that. Nope. They got it. And then the good thing is we still have 2 more lands in the hand, so we're going to be able to keep making our land drops. So, and if that's the case, we might end up going Risen Reef. Yeah, because we want to still get ahead on lands if we can. So let's go for Risen Reef. All right, that does stick. So look at the top part of our library. Oh, I want to... Oh, that's a bummer. Okay. And then Season of Growth. I don't know why. I wish Magic Online would let me stack these triggers like that, because then that would help us out with Breeding Pool. Okay, so that's going to be on top of our library. That's pretty much a bummer. Let's have Guildgate come down, and then we'll cash that in next turn, and we'll pass the turn. Yeah, there's just certain ways I like to order that stack, and we'll have to put it on control mode, I guess. If we put because if we put the Risen Reef trigger. They're going to go for Surveil, so yeah, whatever they want to grab. If they want to grab Underwhelm Lich, that's okay. We'll make that trade. I mean, that's a little bit of a bummer on that, to be perfectly honest. So, but we're going to be drawing it. I'm not going to let it dwell on it, though. So, well, Breeding Pool coming down next turn. That's going to be at least allow us to go for Yarok the Desecrated. And I think that sounds pretty good. So let's go Breeding Pool. We're going to pay 2 life. And we're going to hit Control. That's going to be Yarok. We're going to let that resolve. And let's... Is there no way to stack these triggers? I guess we can't stack the triggers, which is kind of a bummer, because I'd rather have Risen Reef go on the stack first, and then we can scry. Yeah, I guess we can't. So, all right, that's going to be Risen Reef. That's going to be another land. That's going to go into our hand. That's kind of a bummer. Tail's End. And then Dream Eater, we're going to put that on the bottom for right now. And then Scribe, we're going to put that on the bottom for right now, too. Yeah, I think that's fine. All right. Then we got the land down for the turn. Don't really want to swing in for one, so we're simply just going to go and pass the turn to our opponent. But yeah, with that Season of Growth and Risen Reef, unless I'm missing something, we should be able to put the triggers... We want to put the triggers on the stack in the opposite way. So that is a little bit of a bummer. But... oh well, we'll play around it. And then no swing in from Foulmire Knight. So that's going to be Evolving Wilds on their side. Okay, so if we do have Fabled Passage at this point. Not Fabled Passage, Frilled Mystic. So, and then we can still have Arcane Signet come down. Yeah, I like that. So let's have Arcane Signet come down. That way we can at least, get a little bit ahead on mana and still keep us open for Frilled Mystic. Let's go for Fabled Passage. That way if they somehow deal with it, that's fine. And this one does have Death Touch, so we're not going to swing in just yet. We're going to find some sort of answer for Foulmire Knight. And so no swing in, and then we're going to go and pass the turn to our opponent. Yeah, I'll have to look that up because that is kind of does bother me how you can control the stack with that. So it's going to be Tyrant Scorn. They're going to be able to destroy Risen Reef. We can go for Runaway together, but that does cut us off of Frilled Mystic. That'll be... Yeah, I think I kind of like this. This will be double. Yeah, because we end up going Runaway together, and that still keeps us open on Tails End. Yeah, I like this. All right, so we're going to go Runaway together. We're going to target Risen Reef, target Foulmire Knight, return them to our hand. We're going to get a... Seasons of Growth trigger. It's going to be New Horizons. We're going to turn those creatures back to our hands. It's going to keep your rock on the battlefield. And we still have Tails End to stop Etrata if that's what ends up happening. So I kind of do like that. And in fact, let's go ahead and crack a Fabled Passage. And we'll probably grab a blue source because we need a little bit better access to blue mana off this one. So they're going to go for Evolving Wilds. We'll still be able to go Tails End on if they end up going for Etrata, at least be able to keep their commander off the battlefield. And then after that, we're going to be able to go for Risen Reef and cash in some nice Season of Growth. So that's going to be Rankle coming down. Yeah, yeah, because if we have to sacrifice creatures, that's not good for us. So let's go for Tails End. That's going to counter Rankle. Tails End is such a good card for Brawl. I mean, it's so good. And let's do this. So let's go Temple of Mystery, because this is pretty cool about Yarok, because you get double scries off your lands, which is a very nice feeling. Let's put Anticipate on the bottom. We're just kind of digging for Enter the Battlefield effects. Oh, yeah, go Gary Feinbroker. I like that. And let's go ahead and push in with Yarok. That way we can get on the board for some commander damage. It's going to knock them down to 21. And we go Risen Reef still gives us access to Frilled Mystic. That sounds pretty good. All right, so we're going to have Risen Reef enter the battlefield. We're going to have full control. Yeah, I'm hitting the control button, but yeah, okay. That's going to be Golgary's going to go into our hand. Yes, we'll put the land on the battlefield tapped. And then we're going to gain 2 life. Seasons of... Oh, yes. Agent of Treachery is exactly what we want to see. Now, what we can do with Agent of Treachery is basically just gain control of their lands, and that's going to be a good game. Kind of a little cutthroat, but hey, this is Brawl. We're here to have some fun. We're here, well, fun for us at least. But that does allow us to... to gain control of their stuff. So what we may end up... Yeah, because we just grab double swamps. That leaves them with Arcane Signet. Yeah, I think we're okay with that. All right, so we run into Agent of Treachery. Let's go and push in first just to see if there's any sort of action out of their hands. So we're going to swing it at our opponent because we could run into a counter spell. And that's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, which we don't have enough for Treachery and Frilled Mystic. So we're going to swing in for 4. That's going to knock them down to 17. Or if we just want to go for a value play, we can go for Golgari. Yeah, I think I kind of like that just a little bit better. Well, let's just see. No, I think Golgari, because that gives us Tails End. Yeah, that's a better line of play to go for. Plus, you don't want to just be super oppressive against our opponent, because they might have a counterspell right now. So if they burn in on Golgari Feinbroker, yeah, that'll work out for us, because, yeah, Sinister Sabotage. Okay, there we go. And in fact, no, I'd much rather leave up Frilled Mystic on this one, so that way we can stop Etrata. All right, so they're going to get Sinister Sabotage. A good thing we didn't go for Agent of Treachery. That would have been sinisterly Sabotage, which wouldn't have been good for us. We'll have the land drop down for the turn. That's going to be Evolving Wilds. And then if we end up going New Horizons, it's still going to be 1, 2, 3, 4 on one of our lands. Yeah, I think we'll just hold on to that at this point right now. Let's go and crack Evolving Wilds. That way we can just grab that land out of our library. And we'll go and grab I think another island. So there we go. All right. Pass the turn to our opponent and kick it back over there. So we still have Frilled Mystic to stop whatever they're going to go for. Even if they do pop our Arcane Signet somehow or send it back to their hand, we do have the necessary 4 mana for this. And then next turn, if they tap out for something, trying to finally get a threat down on the battlefield, At least this Agent of Treachery will allow us to steal some of their stuff. So we'll see what we can go for. But yeah, Agent of Treachery, this is just a good enough card to be running by itself in any deck. The fact that you get to run it in your rock and steal 2 things, it is a very nice feeling. Now, one thing that we can do. No, I like just getting the Commander Tax jam back up. All right, so we're gonna go for Frilled Mystic. Okay, so we're going to counter. It's going to be... All right, Potus can scoop it up on this one. Yeah, I don't blame him. That's we're pretty much going to be able to take it from there. So, yeah, this is pretty much what you want to do with Sultai. You know, it's just get down your rock and just start getting double triggers. You can see where we were tempted by Agent of Treachery to go for that double steal, but we decided not to. And that really worked out for us because we were able to at least kind of put that at bay. And, you know, even just Agent of Treachery, even if our opponent doesn't have a counterspell, just using Agent of Treachery to steal 2 of their lands is such a such a hard thing to bounce back for in Brawl. So anyways, if you enjoyed the video, hey, like and subscribe. Thanks. Bye.